Hello students, I am Teena Motwani, working as an English teacher at Kendriya Vidyalaya Devgarh, and I have started online classes for your benefit. The poem that we are going to deal with today is My Mother at 66. This is from the textbook Flamingo prescribed for CBSE 12th standard, and the poem My Mother at 66 has been composed by Kamla Das. Kamla Das is one of the very first poets of Indian English literature. She has contributed a lot to Indian English literature, and she was born on 31st March 1934 in Kerala. She is also known by the pen name Madhavi Kutti. And if you read her works and also this poem which we are going to deal with, if you read her works, you will find that she is dealing with the inner realm of human beings. Rather than discussing about the external elements, she is dealing with the human emotions. So we begin with the poem. First we will we'll recite the poem, and then we will find out, what is hidden in the hidden treasure in the poem. So let's go through the poem first. My Mother at 66. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport's security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, when, pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma," and all I did was smile and smile and smile. So, beautiful poem portraying human emotion. The poem has been written from the standpoint of a daughter. Now, what is she describing? She was driving from her parents' home to Cochin Airport. She had come to her parental home, and now she is going to the place from where she came, and they were driving. The mother was sitting beside the daughter in the car, driving from her parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning. She's describing an incident which happened on the previous Friday, on the last Friday, and when the mother was sitting beside the daughter in the car, she saw her mother. That is, she observed her mother. And what did she notice? She's dozing, means half asleep, almost half asleep, open mouth. When you sleep, sometimes it happens that your mouth is open, and it also here indicates that mother is very casual, not very careful about her appearance or about the way she displays herself. So, doors open mouth, her face ashen like that of a corpse. So here a simile has been used. The mother's face has been compared to the ash. Smoky color, dull, pale, lifeless. There's no energy on her face. So there's a simile comparison between the face of the mother and the corpse's dead body. And realized with pain. The poet realized there was a pain in her heart, there was a pang, and she realized with pain that my mother not only looks old, but she is gradually growing old. So there was this realization. Sometimes we have a realization. Sometimes we observe things, but we don't think that deep. But when you ponder over it, you realize that there is a gravity in the situation. So she realized that my mother is getting old, and at that moment, suddenly, a fear of separation, it seeps into the poet's mind. So she says that my mother is as old as she looks. But a sudden transition to avoid that turmoil which was going to build up in her heart. She shifts her attention from the interior, the inside of the car, to the exterior world, to the external world, outside world. She put that thought away. She just suspends that thought, and rather than that, she looked out. What did she see outside? Young children, merry children, and young trees. Young trees are sprinting. When you are moving in the vehicle, in a car or in any vehicle, the movement is there, so you feel that as if the trees are running behind, they're running in the reverse direction, or they're shooting out. So sprinting means shooting out of the ground, or they're running past. So she sees the trees, she observes trees, young trees. See the contrasting image. On the one hand, mother is looking, she's getting old, she's looking very aged and pale, dull. On the other hand, you have young trees and merry children spilling out of their homes. Merry children, happy children, were excited, they were filled with energy, and they were coming out in groups from their home, like water spills, filled with energy, exuberant energy is there in them. But then she reaches the airport. After the airport security check, standing a few yards away, when she was almost about to board the plane, and she's at a distance, she's standing, and from that place she's waving a goodbye to her mother. What did she feel? She observed her mother again. She again glanced at her mother. She looked at her mother. Same paleness, wan, lifeless, dullness was there on her face as a late winter's moon. Again a simile. So the mother's face, earlier it was compared to a corpse, and now here in these lines the mother's face has been compared to late winter's moon. Why winter? Cold, chilly, and then moon in those days is pale, very dull, and it is late winter's moon. Hazy look, not very shining or bright one. So the mother's face is also hazy, dull, and there is lack of sheen on her face. And then the poetess felt that old familiar ache. This old familiar ache is referring to the poet's childhood fear. As a child also, she had this fear that I might not be separated from my mother. So that old pain revived, that ache revived, that childhood fear revived. But again, see the ending of the poem. All I said was, see you soon, Amma. So these lines are very prominent. The conclusion of the poem is very prominent. Why? Because from negativity it takes you to the positivity. From the point of separation, from the idea of separation, the poet moved to a state of hope, and she's saying, what did she assured her mother. She said, see you soon, Amma, with an assurance. On a positive note, she ends the meeting as well as the poem. And all I did was smile and smile and smile. So that smile was a veil to the pain that she was hiding in her heart, the pain of separation, the pain of loss. So the poem in totality is talking of this universal element, universal human element, human emotion, that we fear to lose our near and dear ones. This is the main theme of the poem. And the main literary devices that we have discussed between the poem also, and simile has been used in the poem. You can see the image, you can almost visualize the mother's face. So that is another figure of speech used in this poem. There are other figures of speech used in this poem. Young trees sprinting. Trees have been personified as if they are running past. And then you have a metaphor used when the poet has used merry children spilling out of their homes. So as if, They have been compared to perhaps some liquid or water which is splashing or which is running out from the door. So there is a metaphor used there. Then at the end of the poem, there is a repetition of the word and smile and smile and smile to emphasize on the fact that though the poet has sadness inside, she is giving an assurance and a promise to her mother that everything is okay and she will see her soon. So these are the prominent figures of speech used here, and definitely there is a great contrast between the mother's situation or her appearance and the scenes that the poet describes outside the car. So these are basically the main figures of speech used in the poem. Thank you.